The king of unnecessary inflation is at it again. A eagle-eyed Canadian source who sends me a lot of stuff sent me this article today from PC Magazine that the FCC has just banned all new Wi-Fi router models made outside of the United States. Okay. The premise they're doing it is national security. That is a lie. It's a total bullshit lie. It is a method to control the market, and I'll give you my concerns about who may be controlling that market soon. And this is just a program for rent seeking. The Federal Communications Committee just banned the sale of any new Wi-Fi that are not made in the U.S., all of them. Here's the problem with that. How many models of Wi-Fi routers are made in America? Basically none. So basically what they have done is ended, outside the supply that's in the stores and in the wholesalers' warehouses right now, they have ended the import of Wi-Fi routers. Okay, unless that Wi-Fi manufacturer in Taiwan, Indonesia, Malaysia, China, Vietnam buys enough meme coin. If it buys enough Trump meme coin, I'm sure they'll get a waiver. They went total bullshit. I've got both the FCC actual order page up and the PC Mag article up, and they wanted to claim this was supply chain vulnerability, and they're expanding the blacklist of telecom equipment that has an unnecessary risk to U.S. security. And it now includes all consumer-grade routers produced in foreign countries, which is all of the routers. We don't make Wi-Fi routers in this country. Maybe a half a percentage point of custom rig routers, probably for large area rural purposes, whatever, we make or reassemble here. Okay? You know what this sounds like? This sounds like Dear Leader Porn Star Humper thinking you can grow bananas in a cornfield. You cannot. You cannot grow bananas in a lumber forest. You cannot grow bananas in a wheat field. You cannot grow bananas in a artichoke or lettuce field on the Central Coast. It doesn't work, moron. Oh, and this also reminds me of, let's grow our own chocolate. Yeah, that will be the win. We have one significant manufacturer that grows their own chocolate in the United States, and that's a boutique operation on Hawaii. We don't grow cacao in America, except for one place. But we're going to force Hershey's of Hershey, Pennsylvania, to use only American-made chocolate, an American-grown chocolate. To say this is ignorant is an understatement. Saying that Dear Leader is being ignorant is offensive to ignorant people. Because this is not just ignorance. This is a fucking con. Now, they said this action does not affect any previously purchased consumer-grade routers. Consumers can continue to use the router they have already lawfully purchased and acquired. Oh, so you're not going to send ICE door-to-door to steal our Wi-Fi gear because it wasn't made by the SPAC company merger of Uday and Qusay Trump, Donald and Eric, America's Uday and Qusay. They're going to SPAC their drone company into a Wi-Fi company. You want to make a bet on that? I'll put 100 on the head right now. So basically, we do not have, and of course, this is again Brendan Carr, the fucking East German Kazi. This motherfucker is so Stasi, it sickens me. Okay, so East German FCC Chairman Brendan Carr says No new models of foreign produced routers will no longer be eligible for marketing or sale in the United States, completely eliminating the Wi-Fi router market in the United States. Because this is another idiotic thing. They think we can do things we don't do here at all. Then they literally think getting it up and running is flicking a switch. This is how idiotic these people are. They're either idiotic or they're completely full of shit, or a combination of both. Okay. This gets more than a tad ugly when you start looking at the details. Okay. If you cut off more than 98% of the supply of Wi-Fi routers, what the hell do you think is going to happen to the Wi-Fi routers that are currently in stock? What are they going to triple, quadruple, quintuple in price? Yeah, that's the minimum. You can see some high-end routers like these massive Asus mesh units I run here that are super expensive. Okay. I had to buy a replacement last year and the price almost doubled last year. These are now like each almost $1,000 access points, Wi-Fi access points with 2.4 and 2.5 gigahertz antennas on them. Completely manageable routing, security. It's basically a access point server. You take 98% of the market away from consumers, you'll get nothing but increased prices. So where do we get our routers? China, Vietnam, Mexico are the top three. Others are Taiwan, Thailand, Indonesia, India, Malaysia, and Brazil. Notice none of the countries I just read off said United States of America. So they think because I have a grievance, I have a nationalist fantasy that everybody's out to get me, we can literally end a consumer product in the United States until some years down the road, we can replace it. Because you're talking 3 years, absolutely minimum, to get a project up in the United States that could produce any quantity of Wi-Fi that will do anything to the prices other than multiplying because of this concocted horseshit. Now, what else is going to happen? All your models are going to freeze. You're not going to get any updates. Wi-Fi 7's coming out. Okay? Are you going to see any routers with Wi-Fi 7 capabilities, including the sub 1 gigahertz channel for the Internet of Things, for devices, monitoring boards, PLCs, whatever? No, you're not, because they just destroyed that market. They just destroyed your next upgrade to a better router. Okay, because why the hell would you make things for the United States if they can just be overnight banned because they want somebody else to make the money? They want to do rent seeking. They want to payola, pay to play, payola to get their routers on the market. And here's the evil part. This is why I'm still so pissed at Tim Cook with his gold trinket bribe in the Oval Office. They literally have learned, business executives have learned, if you're the first one to bribe Trump, give him a gold trinket, buy some of his meme coins, stay at his hotel or his golf resort. You are the one that's going to be handed a significant chunk of the market. Everybody else loses. This is corporate socialism at a level I didn't think that we let them get away with, but it's happening. This is what happens when you mix corporate socialism with any authoritarian brand of the day that works, because they don't care what authoritarian bullshit they're pulling. It could be Nazism, it could be communism, it could be necroxy voodoo from North Korea. They don't give a shit as long as the money keeps flowing in their fucking pockets, as long as the money gets directed to their campaign donors. Okay, and talk about the regulatory roadblock they're just going to set up. Okay, if the federal courts don't shoot this shit down immediately and put a restraining order on it, oh my God, am I going to be pissed? Because you're literally telling them, unless you pay to play, we're going to disapprove any feature you put in your Wi-Fi. And we're just going to call it a national security problem, even though some companies have handed over their code to CISA and the NSA for review. Now it's sickening. Oh, the Wi-Fi routers are a national security problem. Well, yeah, 60% of all Wi-Fi routers in America are made in China. Why aren't you banning all cameras too, since 85% of all cameras we use in America are made in China? Even Netgear, which is a US owned operated company, their assembly is done in Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and Taiwan. And they are years, according to their own statement, they are years away from moving that business onshore. And they're not even sure if it could work because there's limited, quote, limited available alternatives if manufacturing were so disrupted. Analysts called U.S. manufacturing of Wi-Fi gear, quote, de minimis, meaning almost nothing to be and nothing to be concerned about. We only for the custom boutique stuff. Everything else is made overseas. Everything else, Netgear, new Google Guest, Amazon Aero, Linksys, Cisco, Asus. None of them are U.S. None of them are fully U.S. And that's what this regulation says. They must be designed, coded, manufactured, all parts. We're going to get the fucking chips. See, this is what they're doing. They're trying to justify the commie fucking bullshit with Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA seizing the company like the Stasi used to do in East Germany. Now they got a direct business to that plant that's not even open yet. Not even fully open, at least. It's a great con if you can get away with it. And if you want made in America today, you're going to have to go to Enterprise Gear. Trust me, I put this stuff in for my clients. In fact, we have a whole new Wi-Fi thing coming in from Cisco for one of my clients with the high-end, were they triple antenna 6 gigahertz models, the very latest, greatest ones. Yeah, I told you my Wi-Fi stations cost about $900 with tax, a little more with the inflation of 2025. You're talking closer to $2,000, $2,500 a puck. Plus, you need a $4,000 to $5,000 controller to run them. Okay, so you're going to be into the Enterprise, Cisco's, the Enterprise, Hewlett Packard Enterprise HPE models, or the Ubiquiti. The problem is that Cisco, for example, claims, oh, these are all, American devices, but they also don't run their own manufacturing. So what is this policy really? This is choking out another part of the economy based on a nationalist grievance, which is really based on xenophobia. How dare we do trade with other people? Okay. They're brown. We can't do trade with brown people. Now explain their problem with Germany. I don't know, but they hate Germany just as much. But this is a fucktarded level of America first. But it isn't the first round with this. We saw this with bananas. We saw this with chocolate. Now we're seeing it with Wi-Fi routers. What the fuck is next? What stupidity is coming down the track next? Are they going to announce like this is a Twilight Zone episode of the Star Trek? Well, you have to use all your own dilithium crystals that are made in the United States. Well, even did the Star Trek people, didn't they have to go to another planet to find that stuff? That's how dumb this is. And we're not talking a small small market here either. They're looking at about 150,000 shipments a month for consumer grade Wi-Fi routers. That's a big chunk of product to be taken off the table. Oh, and who does this cut out? Your local electronics store. We got a good independent chain. I don't go to Best Buy or the big box stores anymore. I try to avoid them like the plague, unless they're literally the only one that has the thing I'm looking for. But even then, like I knew like Walmart had a 5090 RTX when I was looking for one. I was like, I'm not buying it from fucking Walmart. No, I'll pay more at a local store for it than I will paying money to Walmart for a high-end purchase. But yeah, it cuts out your local computer store, your local regional computer chain. It's harmful to the economy. It sets up a bad precedent in the future because they could do this. They could do this to any product they want. All they got to do now, because they've learned two things from the federal courts. It's got to be an emergency, and you can't just say, I hate the fuckers, that's why I want to put an import ban or a tariff on them. Okay, it actually has to have them, actually has to be an emergency, and it can't be arbitrary and capricious under the APA, the Procedures Act, the post-Nixon cleanup law. So yeah, there we are. If you're going to go move into a new apartment or a new house and you're looking for a Wi-Fi, good luck. You're stuck with the shitty Wi-Fi they give you with your AT&T or Comcast router or modem, depending on what service you're on. I'm on AT&T Business, so I have a full-blown router, but I don't use the AT&T Wi-Fi. I use my own. AT&T is on the other side of my firewall. Everything is the inside of my firewall, including my APs. Nothing's on the outside. Nothing's connected to that router other than one firewall port. So you're stuck using the shitty ones that come with your Comcast modem or router, again, depending on what service you're on, fiber or cable. And this is anti-consumer. This raises costs for families yet again. It blows away consumer choice. Yes, I'm a full-blown capitalist. This purchase decisions should be made by the consumer, not by slack-jawed idiots who are Nazi xenophobes who think they can hand money and consolidate the entire American economy under about 100 families, all directly connected to Trump, including his own family. Look how much money Jared Kushner's making overseas. Okay, Uday and Kusei has opened up a drone company. They will SPAC it into a Wi-Fi router company. Watch. Again, I'm willing to bet somebody on this one. Okay. What does this policy say? Policy says we have no economic partners. We have no allies. And we will take out all of our nationalist grievances and bullshit out on the American consumer and the American working class family. This is what you voted for, you dumb motherfuckers. Fuck you. If we get out of this administration without being in somewhere between a Great Recession of 2009 and a Great Depression of the 1920s, I will be totally surprised. Like, I'm worrying that at just turning 60 years old, that this recession will take out my retirement and I'll never be able to retire. Why? Because some greedy motherfuckers are trying to ban products so their cohorts, so their street gang can make the money instead. As long as you pay tribute to the mob boss who's leading the street gang. And who's that street gang leader I've been talking about all this time? Dear leader, porn star Humper. Okay. Brendan Carr needs to be fucking impeached, and he needs to be impeached now. This is the third thing he's done, which is 100% impeachable for lying, asinine bullshit. And let's back up a step. When I told you 15 years ago to take authority away from the FCC, everyone, no, they have to be the overseer of everything we watch. And I'm like, we're not East Germany. We're not North Korea. We're not Saudi Arabia. Knock it the fuck off. The FCC has one goddamn job. It's managing the electromagnetic spectrum. Period. Full stop. Shut the fuck up. Get them out of. Get the FCC. Now, if Congress wants to pass a law that restricts products from overseas, Congress can figure that out, and we can talk about it in court. Remember how the Republicans used to hate unelected bureaucrats? What the fuck is Brendan Carr? After going after Stephen Colbert, after threatening to revoke local TV stations' broadcast licenses. And now he's literally taking away an entire market of sub-market of technology away from the American consumer so he can do rent seeking, so Trump can get paid. Until next time, with all this shit going around, please, please think about it.